Here we are looking at Joseph Wright of Derby's A Philosopher giving a lecture on the Orrery, an 18th century English painting. First, it is important to understand the context. This piece is revolutionary in its use of science as a subject which is very rare, taking the place of religion to explain natural events. It was made by Joseph Wright of Derby between the years of 1763 to 1765, and its medium of oil on canvas still represents the continuation of European customs of art. The emboldening of the sciences is best represented by the Orrery, a crude representation of our solar system. In this artwork, it is being taught to a group of middle-class English people attending the lecture. It is important to see the piece as how a person will see it when they are standing in front of it. This is not a small piece. Its scale invites the viewer to analyze it in a more profound way. The use of canvas with its lively colors, as well as tenebrism, helps the viewer and the artist omit the environment, focusing on the subjects and objects that grant the piece its significant meaning. As mentioned, tenebrism, or the use of dark hues, along with the color black, lets the author obviate the environment. This causes the room in which the individual inhabits to not be as important as the characters and the interactions shown. Moreover, the inclusion of middle-class subjects gives the idea of a transitioning society to a society with more social mobility.
It is very important to know that Joseph Wright had created pieces like this, where the old ideas of cultural icons of more traditional philosophy is highlighted before the transition to a new scientific age. With a piece like this present one, we can see the importance given instead of to sciences, to, in this case, the image of a man that may represent Western culture, that may represent ideas of the past, of the building blocks of Western European civilization. With a piece that exemplifies the ideas of the Enlightenment, it is important to see the themes that it brings forth. For example, the pursuit of knowledge. Of course, the piece it is full of this idea of teaching, of passing knowledge to the next generation by the philosopher and the orrery. We also see books that bring this again idea of recompiling knowledge, of learning, which is very important under Enlightenment. There's also, as mentioned before, the growth of the middle class. Enlightenment was not only about new discoveries in the science, it was this idea of furthering society, of the stagnation that society had seen in the past, where the methods of ruling, the methods of living had been, for the most part, stagnant. Now Enlightenment brings forth a new era of knowledge, discovering, and progress. With the ideas of the Enlightenment came forth the transition from the more spiritual and ethereal way of seeing the world to the more scientific and philosophical way that the Enlightenment put forth. Therefore, the natural world came to have a center stage, like we can see with the orrery. Its importance as a way of seeing the world, of understanding with the scientific methods and other tools how our world works. Of course, with all this comes teaching. The philosopher as a central piece, and the man taking notes signifies this idea of passing the knowledge forward, of instructing the next generation so they can in the future learn more about the world, learn more about the natural way things transform, and therefore increasing the knowledge of society. This piece created some controversy due to the use of scientific ideas on a way normally reserved for religion. Nevertheless, due to the Enlightenment, many great thinkers supported such pieces and it was not seen as scandalous. With this concludes my presentation on the piece A Philosopher Giving a Lecture at the Orrery. I hope it was helpful and informative, and I hope you have a great day.